got distracted for a minute. I was, usually I start kind of going to set up the settings of the live and getting my coffee, so when I come to my office, it's ready to go. But there was a long line at the coffee store, so I had to wait. This guy had the strangest order. There's a lot of, customization. So the poor girl, and they have lots of customers backing up. But it's, I'm here. I'm here now. I'm here with y'all. And there was some interesting conversation was going on Discord. So I kind of, hi Juan, how are you? So apparently someone in one of the Aventus Facebook groups has, conspired to scam someone else. One of those groups. Sorry, I'm gonna try to drop this down. Light is in my eye. Okay. Anyways, hi Babush, how are you? And to them, huge amount. I think it's they sold some bottle for $2,800, and they sent it out to someone, and it didn't make it. I guess it was returned, but they tried to say it was what do you call it? It was lost in transit, and that you lost your money. And then the guy is then the package returns. They conspired to sell it quietly, and oh my god, it was just like a whole movie kind of setting, which is kind of unfortunately very common in fragrance groups. And over the years that I have kind of admin fragrance groups, I have seen crazy stuff. I try to really limit how I get people in terms of the members to the Facebook groups. I try to take a look and see if any kind of weird looking things, but sometimes people have been solid for years and then all of a sudden they go rogue, and that is very unfortunate, because in those cases often the loss is huge. There had been members that would have, not in my group thankfully, but there has been members that they have scammed people of I don't know, upwards of $10,000, $15,000, and all of a sudden they disappeared because they built this reputation over years and they were good, and then solid disappeared, ghosted everyone. I often wonder what happens to those people. But this case was a little bit different. Hi Moose, hi Babush. This case was a little bit different in that it was a two-person conspiring to do something. Both of them, they were kind of in it, planning and lying, and that kind of, it is kind of a criminal behavior, I think, in some ways, and that establishes a pattern. It's less than a petty thief, or not a petty thief, but your impulsive action of to steal something because you needed something. It's that more than kind of conspiring and coming up with a plan and lying and manufacturing evidence and stuff like that. So that's kind of establishes criminal behavior, which kind of scares me when people who have been solid for years all of a sudden show up with this kind of behaviors. That really scares me, because that is the real risk in the fragrance groups. Because if you do all you can do, you legit check the person, you people who have had good experience with them, but all of a sudden they go rogue. There's nothing that you could do. I mean, interestingly, this conversation came up in the Discord, and that there has been funny enough, over the years I've noticed there's a lot of law enforcement people in fragrance groups, which is kind of interesting to note. And they're not there for, I don't know of any that is there for official capacity to kind of look for fraud or whatever, because probably they have a bigger fish to catch. But I've had to, a few of them that were known to me over years, and I know what they do. I've had to ask some favors from them occasionally, and the most exciting one was, God, this person was an idiot. They basically had scammed someone of their money, and the address was found through some sort of little FBI workout that I do. Not FBI, I'm just joking. Like a little looking into like stuff like people post there. Like it's easy to find, you know, people's background or things like that online now. And I don't do them unless that I have a reason to, right? And I don't have any access. These are like all publicly, you know, published. And well, we had to do a little bit of a, you know, friendly visit and reminder. Not there was no violence, nothing like that. But it was just with the help of this individual, a police officer. We had a little bit of a convincing to send the bottle back, and which ended up happening, which ended up in a positive note, with no like losses in any way. But it is the you know, just be careful who you are around and what you're doing, because you don't know who people are in these groups. There are people of all sort of backgrounds and whatnot. I know people have taken people to court over the fragrance stuff, and they actually were awarded. You know, I knew this one guy who had kind of started a quasi business with this another person, and then had taken several bottles from her with the intention to sell, but it never ended up. I don't know what happened, but anyways, that ended up in a court case, and then I think the person was awarded. So, but it took years. Don't mess with me. Yeah, you know, I like, the thing is, like, you don't. I don't really sweat small stuff, but when it gets to like being taken advantage of, that's like my vulnerable point. Like, well, not vulnerable point, but the trigger point. Like, you know, just don't take advantage of me. Like, I don't sweat small losses, or like something happens, whatever, like that can happen. But these huge things are taken for an idiot or taken advantage of. That's another. I can't handle that very well. Like, I will come. I will come for you. I'm joking. Okay, so a lot of scammers out there. Yeah, there's a lot of scammers. Like, you guys got to be careful when you're buying from the groups. There are scammers with intention, and then there are people who are not very aware of what they're selling, and they may end up with a fake, with a dupe, with a refilled of anything. I got lost there. I will find you. I have a certain set of skills. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. Like, you know, you don't piss me off. I don't care. Like, I don't look up stuff. I don't go after people. I don't do a background check. But, you know, try to scam me, and I will be on Google page 3000 looking up your ancestors. So I'm telling that. Okay. All right. Lance Valinor, lack of science education. What's that? I don't even know what you mean. Anywho, so there are, again, like a lot of scammers in the groups. There are like people who are buying stuff and unknowingly selling them with like with no intention to fraud, but then like end up being, you know, people complain about it and things like that. No, I'm not. And all sort of you know, there are different types of fraud going on in Fragcom, and you guys gotta watch for it. So, and if you can't, what? Who is this? Yeah. Okay, taken care of. Hi, Cosmic Ace. Anyways, so when you're buying in fragrance groups, again, like, there's a certain risk that is with it. So, like, again, like making sure, like, getting to know your seller, it's one thing, but sometimes even with knowing the seller, like, it can happen. So sometimes when people, and there's nothing wrong with this, like a lot of people do that, like they're getting out of the fragrance game, and all of a sudden, like they're, oh my god, why is the hair so wild today? They're getting out of fragrance game. They post like, I don't know, 300 bottles, but those posts really gets me anxious. When I see them, I get really anxious about those posts because, like, back in my mind, I'm always worried about, what's happening here. Like, that's a lot of money, and a lot of money being lost. So if something goes wrong, and a lot of expensive bottles, and then what am I gonna do with it? So don't be upset if I'm reaching out to you if you have been in a fragrance game for a long time and you post like 200 bottles, and I'm reaching out to you, say, oh, how are you? Are you doing okay? And how are things? I'm trying to suss and make sure everything is okay, okay, for the group members, because there's a certain responsibility with that. Anywho, and that's being said, that's aside, today we are wearing, actually, let me talk about the one that I was wearing yesterday. So I wore, because it's kind of the same theme of stuff. So this is a new Armani Privé. This is Iris Bleu. This was actually my last purchase before yesterday's purchase, and I have another, oh god, this, like, which one is this that's on my face? Hold on. Oh, no. Wow, I made it worse. Okay, let's see if I change the angle. Would that be better? Okay, yes, this is better. So, oh, not really. Okay. So the one that, this one, Iris Bleu, is my last purchase before yesterday purchase, when I bought the, Frederic Malle Eau de Magnolia. I could not help myself. There was 2 left in stock at the price that I wanted at Fragrance Buy in the tester. It was a really good price. So I ended up, like, it was $2.29 Canadian for a 100 ml tester. That's a really great price for Frederic Malle Eau de Magnolia. But anyway, so I got that one. But this one was the last purchase before this. And this one is an interesting fragrance. I wore it yesterday for the full day. Let me see if I can find the notes in here. Okay. Yeah. And it's a 2025 release. Interestingly enough, I've told my kids that I wanted to plant iris this year. So for Mother's Day, this light bothers me. Okay, sorry for this distracted stream. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go handle it. I'll be back in a second. Okay. Let's see if that was it. Alright, okay, well, we're back. Damn shades. I know, right? It bothers me. At least now it's not, oh, that's right in my face. That Armani cap looks like a whole bottle of Mitra-et-le-Parfum. Yeah, I can see that, right? Like the Mitra-et-le-Parfum bottles look similar to this one. Anyway, so I bought this one last, Armani, and I think this is an EDT? Because I think it is, unless I'm wrong. Eau de toilette. Yeah, eau de toilette bottles are in Armani are clear. Like there's a bunch of them. There's like Teu Long. I really like from that line. I think Santal Dansha is there. bunch of them, like in the EDT version. So I wore this yesterday. For an EDT, it had a good longevity, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. And I was saying that, you know, like this year I want to plant iris, which I don't have green thumb. This is my goal. I want to plant something. And my kids had gone for Mother's Day and bought me a bunch of irises, different irises. I didn't know there are so many iris flowers. Like even the I'm looking at here, the iris flower that they have shown here, it's yellow. I didn't know like a iris flower could be yellow. And then there's one that like has orange shades. So anyway, so different irises from different places. Top note of this one: bergamot, galbanum, lemon, iris butter, jasmine, white musk, Virginia cedar, kayak. So a lot of Armani's have a lot of irises in their notes. So if you are familiar with Armani Privé line or even the Couture line, because they have two lines. There's a Couture and there's a Privé, and they have this they have a DNA in them, and a lot of the fragrances have iris in them, with a little variation in things. This is no different, but it has that greenness on the top, so I do smell the galbanum. Like it gives me that green kind of green spark. I don't know what you say that, but like that green beginning, and then obviously some the top notes of bergamot and citron, and the iris butter. Like though it doesn't come across buttery to me, it's more like a between of a floral iris, a little bit of a woody iris with like, and then there's some musk and woody notes. So this is very clean fragrance. Like it is. Hi Franks, how are you? The very clean fragrance. It totally worth wearing to like you know, this is not a screamer. This is not huge projector, but it is appropriate for like day wear and like office wear, probably if you don't have a no scent policy and that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed this throughout the day. Like it lasted me the whole work day for an EDT, but I do like, you know, I think I do smell things with more intensity than others. No, I'm more sensitive to smell than others. So if you are one who loves their fragrances to be like a beast mode and sillage and longevity of, I don't know, 48 hours, this is not for you. I was with Neela yesterday and I talked about you. Oh my God, she's the sweetest. Oh my God, I love Neela. I absolutely love Neela. We had such a great conversation. Guys, this is this story of me and Neela. I don't know, I've said it probably 1,000 times. Um, who was Sandra? Sandra told me when I was going to Exxon's that you need to meet, you need to make sure you meet Neela Vermeer. And I was like, okay, well, but she's like, I'm sure you guys will get along very well. And I don't know how she thought about this, but anyways, I went to, and her booth was like right at the back of like a row, like there's rows like that, and then um, there's like rows like this, and then there are booths like that at the end. So her booth was at the end. I got there and she was busy with someone. She was talking and they were like into the conversation. I asked the lady, there was a lady there and her husband was there too. There was a lady there and I said I wanted to talk to Neela, and she said, okay, well, we'll let her know. But you have to wait for a little bit. So, and I was tired, like I was pooped actually, like I was walking around so much. So I didn't mind sitting down and I was watching her and her facial expression, and she was talking to this someone, and I was like, you are my people. I know you are my people, and I have this like great 3-second impression in when I recognize my people. So I sat there, I don't know, maybe like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I don't know, maybe even an hour until she was done. And we started talking. Oh my God. We almost talked about everything but the perfumes. And this is how the conversation has always been. Like with Neela, she asked for my phone number and she gave me her phone number. And I didn't expect really, like, you know, these are one time, you know, when you meet someone when you're traveling, right? Like I didn't expect her to call me back. I didn't expect her to remember my birthday. I did not expect that, but there was something like was hoping for that, and we kept communication since. And Sandra, you were so right. She's my people, and we like chat, and she calls me sometimes. I talk to her sometimes. And on Saturday, this is how excited I got. She called me on Saturday because we had talked about having a phone call. She called me on Saturday, and I was at the gym, and like right at the end of the workout. And I do never pick up my phone calls like when I'm at the gym, because it's a personal trainer. I'm not respecting. I am with a personal trainer every time I'm at the gym, so it's kind of respecting. But it was at the end of it, and personal trainer was talking to someone, and I was like, let me pick up. I picked up the phone, and the personal trainer comes, and I was like, just go away, just go away. And then I finished the workout. It was like the last rep of my workout. We talked and talked and talked, and I was at the gym for a little bit, and then I just got out and got on my car, and we still talked until I got home, and talked about anything and everything, but not a lot of perfume talk really. Well, it's a little bit, but I love Neela as a person. She is, I don't know, sometimes I feel like, how you meet these people in life, and you're like, how are we so similar in certain ways? And she's one of those, and I enjoy talking to her. She's absolutely a heart of gold. So any of you who has a chance, please do go visit Anila's store in Paris. She's all love. She has a heart of gold. She is a very kind person, and easy to talk to. I think you have talked to her. I think often they've talked to her. There was someone else went to visit her too. I can't remember who. Oh, is this your first? No, I've had many girl crushes. Actually, look, hold on, Mr. Calvin. This is just for you. Hold on. Look, one of my coworkers left me a book on my desk the other day. She and I also are very close. We're coworkers. And I never felt so understood by an individual as much as as much as I have with this person. Look at the book. You can't see it properly, but the title of the book, can you read it, Mr. Kelvin? Like, she understands me better than anyone. I was about to propose to her after seeing, I was in tears. It's like I was never more understood than this book. Anyway, shooing away the personal trainer for a phone call is hilarious. I know. It was bad. And I actually even forgot because I have gym shoes and outside shoes. I forgot my outside shoes in there and walked out in my gym shoes. Yes, Mr. Calvin, that was a book. Anywho, but I apologized from the personal trainer. Later, I texted him and said, "I'm sorry. I just like this person. It's in France. Blah blah blah. It's a good friend of mine, and I need to take a phone call." He didn't mind. I'm sure he didn't mind. If you're watching, sorry. Anyways, that's a Neela conversation. This derailed the whole thing. I was talking about Iris Bleu, and yeah. This is enjoyable fragrance. I got it for a good price. And if you have tried this, let me know in the comments if you have tried, what you think of it. Again, it's not for huge longevity sillage, but it lasts on me all day on myself. I can't smell. There's that. Next we come to this brand. I don't know if you can't probably read it, but this is Veronique Gabai. I don't know how you say her name right. Veronique Gabai, maybe Gabai. If you're watching Veronique, let me know how you say your last name. And this brand came to my attention, I want to say 2022, end of 2022. That's where I kind of started seeing these perfumes around. And it was for a different fragrance that it came to my attention. Le Point G. It's kind of interesting name. G Point. So that one came into my attention because of the notes, and that one, Le Point G, is an interesting one. It is iris, white musk, rosamine, Virginia, cedar, pink pepper, amber, vanilla, and tonka bean. That one was too rosy for my liking, and too much of. I felt like there was a huge amber oxide dose in there. Like that's what I felt, but I don't know. I can't. I had it and I sold it. People saying that's so faint and fleeting. It wasn't faint and fleeting. It's one of those scents because I feel like there's a lot of heavy molecules of like amber oxide and musks, and you don't, after a while you kind of go nose blind to it. But if you come back to a room that you were in it, you would smell it. It's one of those fragrances. Someone says just get Chanel 1957. You'll be happier if Isoe Super, so they think it's Isoe Super bothers you. This aroma chemical is very apparent to my nose, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this is similar to Isoe Super. It is musky, but I don't think it is close to that. So that is Le Point G, not this fragrance. I had it, I sold it. There's a oh my God, what's her name? There is a perfume store in States. Crystal Fragrances, and she is an absolute gem of a person. She's a sweetheart, and when you buy from her, when she sometimes she has sales from time to time, and when you buy from her, she's like includes a lot of samples, and you can kind of custom ask for samples, and like there are a lot of often new things. So I love that, and so I bought it from her, but I sold my Le Pongy. But I kept this one, and this one, it was interesting because I had this shipped to US from Crystal and from US to me by another person who was coming, and a friend who picked this up for me, Tara, it's not you. I asked them to try. This one, and they were not very impressed with this one. They were like, "Oh, what is this? I don't know. Are you in for a..." What they said, you're in a kind of, I don't know, if this is not very pleasant. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? And they were like, it's very vegetal iris, which absolutely has not been my experience. And that person is an experienced like notes. It's not like someone who doesn't know the fragrances or whatever. So I'm surprised. I don't know if a little bit stuck in the sprayer and that kind of smelled like that. I have never got that from this. So Lumiere D'Iris is a 2019 release. Doesn't say, is Veronique Gabai herself is the perfumer? I'm not sure. It's a deeply rooted. It doesn't say Côte d'Azur. Yeah, founded by Veronique Gabai herself. Reflects her personal journey. I don't know if she is the perfumer. Yeah, it doesn't say. But anyways, let's see, hold on. I wanted to see something here. Can I? Veronique. But her name doesn't come as a perfumer, so I don't know if she is a perfumer or not. But they have 23 perfumes in their list right now, and from them I have tried a few, not a lot. So I have not tried the Liste de Bois. I have not tried Eau d'Azur. I haven't tried Eau de la Nuit Booster. I have not tried. Eau de la Nuit and Eau de Jour I have tried. I have. I have not tried. I have tried Sexy Garage, the Sur la Plage, and those were like not to my liking. Just wondering what's going on outside my door here. Usually people don't come this close to the door. This close. Iris Lumiere. Okay. So the notes on this one: iris, neroli, mandarin orange, bergamot, rose, and woody notes, and amber. And interestingly, from the nostril, when please tell me if the Sultan Basha sprays. Ooh, Sultan Basha sprays. Like the quality of sprays? I've not noticed anything different, but I will let you know. Like, you know what? It's a good. I'll try the iris one from them for tomorrow. I'll let you know. So this one is. Let's try the sprayer here. Look, not a bad sprayer. Fresh off here, it's a lot of like neroli and bright notes. Iris doesn't come right away. Like iris comes really in deep dry down, and it turns to be a quite buttery iris actually on this one on me. But there's also a lot of musk. So this brand, like it, I don't know why I think of this, and she doesn't look like that. But this brand, when I think of this brand, it's like a beach in like California with someone like with a blonde woman wearing like applying suntan lotion. Not that this smells like suntan, but that's the image that I get. I guess like they're focusing on Côte d'Azur, but it's not a heavy fragrance, definitely, and the iris in it beautifully blended with rose. Interestingly, I smell rose more in coming out of the nozzle than on my skin. I don't know why. Maybe in late dry down, I will notice this. It's not a huge longevity sillage like giant killer, but it's a beautiful scent bubble. I like it's been 3 hours that I put this on, and still going good. Like when I move around, I smell it more, but less of like that constant smell. And I think it's because probably has some sort of ambroxan or like heavier notes or heavier musks in it. um, but there aren't a lot of. Okay, let's see what I was trying to look into the reviews. Like most people find it. This is in the category of your bright iris, like bright and citrusy, and like the name goes with it. Iris Lumiere. It's not your dark, heavy, creamy, like super creamy iris. This is like with the notes of the musk and the bergamot and lime and stuff. Bergamot and what's lemon. That kind of like really brightened up, like maybe lemon, not lemon, neroli, mandarin orange, bergamot. With those notes, it quite brightened up the fragrance. It's the appropriate use for, I would say, good even for the whole summer. I don't feel it gets too thick, too cloying. It's not overly sweet. It's very chic fragrance. Like this is absolutely chic fragrance, and I can see how that neroli and mandarin orange, when opening, can be so refreshing in a really hot summer day. Anywho, that was it. I just wanted to talk about these two frags. Ooh, okay. I wanted to talk about two frags, a little bit of gossip, and then and not gossip, I guess the drama and the fragrance groups. And let me know, guys, what you think of this. Have you tried these fragrances from this Veronique Gabai? What have you liked? What you haven't liked? And what are the votes? What are the votes? Don't forget. And let me know what you're enjoying from what kind of iris fragrances you're enjoying these days. And I shall catch up with you. PDM Greenlee. G Mitra. Oh, hi, G Mitra. PDM Greenlee versus LV Imagination, my thought. I have never tried Greenlee Imagination. It's a nice fragrance. That's all I can tell you. Okay, take care. Have a good day. Bye.